Steve for their response as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Chairwoman, and Board. My name is Mark Evans. I am a town planner. I'm a principal at Town Planning Partnership, and I've been very privileged to work with Renaissance Downtowns and walk your streets for many of the last 4 years. And I know your blocks, I know your streets, I know your challenges, and you are facing a very important crossroads, an important decision as to how to move forward with the future of your downtown. I have spent nearly 30 years working on placemaking. I am a registered architect. I am a certified planner. I do planning of downtowns and communities in walkable locations in about 14 different states. And you have an important choice. Your citizens, your elected bodies, your boards, and I think that the decision here is really focusing on placemaking. And I was in the review that we were asked to prepare of the Goman York report. I was concerned that placemaking was becoming fairly amorphous, and I just sort of put it out there to say that placemaking in the definitions that I've been practicing for the last 30 years is really focusing on making sure that the combination of walkable retail, walkable restaurants, residents living above, and that sort of vibrancy of compact, small places, 5,000 square feet, 10,000, 20,000 square feet, that piazza that many have seen and helped shape and form through Bristol Rising and all that can be a remarkable place for a wide variety of events, but it's like 6 or 7 spaces that would make Bristol be a place that generations from now you can look at and say, we made a difference in Bristol. I believe the path that the city and Renaissance has been on for the last 4 years is a strong path, and I strongly advocate that you stay the course on focusing on placemaking. And so to that end, I would say I will share with you the summary reports that our team, as well as the Community Land Use and Economics Group, Zimmerman Volk Associates, and our partnership with Projects for Public Place. We have a report to share with you, and you can read it at your leisure. I hope it helps you make an informed decision. Certainly will be difficult. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Chairwoman, members of the Council and Board. Many of you already know me. Many of the community knows me. I'm not as frequent visitor or speaker as Ryan and the great staff that we have here, but I would like to say as some concluding remarks on behalf of not only Renaissance but G&Y. I don't want to speak for them, but what concerns me is when we came here 4 years ago, we came here with the thought of economic development for the city of Bristol. We have a sort of an understanding of what economic development means, and we also realize that when we go to a city or a town or a village, there must be not only community will, but political will to see economic development happen. So let me tell you what confuses me tonight. And where I am not going to be part of a Renaissance rebuttal to a G&Y statement, I'm going to basically say, why has it come down to a Renaissance position and a G&Y position about economic development? I don't mind when people say they don't agree with municipal financing. You know what? Maybe it doesn't work. But where I have a problem is when someone says that placemaking is creating a 17-acre hill and realizing what the impacts of that will be on this city forever. What it really means is, essentially, when I came here 4 years ago, I said, Bristol, believe in yourselves. and great things will happen. And until that day actually happens, all I'm asking for is one thing: not for municipal financing, not to rebuff the G&Y report, none of that. All I'm asking for is that the decision makers in Bristol have to determine whether they want to take, whether it's 15 acres, 16 acres, or 17 acres, and make a determination. Do they want that to be an economic driver, or do they want that to be a drain on the city? Because essentially what I haven't heard is what would it cost to build this park. When Bryant Park is mentioned, does anybody know that Bryant Park is a 9-acre park that costs $9 million a year, $1 million per acre to maintain? But it also has high-rise buildings surrounding it. So what we're saying is we thought, and maybe we were wrong in our assumption, but when we came here, we thought that this 15 or 16 or 17-acre parcel represented Bristol's hope for economic development. And if it did, then we came to the right place. If it now doesn't, then what we don't understand is what happened to change that. Remember, I'm not here fighting for municipal financing. What I'm here to do is say, as Ryan pointed out, we're roll-up-your-sleeves people. If Plan A or Building A or Plan B or Building B doesn't work, it doesn't mean, after us spending $2 million, having 2,500 people on the Bristol Rising website that have invested 4 years of their time, it doesn't mean Renaissance pack up and go home, and 2,500 people, you wasted 4 years of your time. So all we're asking is one thing. We don't make the decisions. We can only give of ourselves, which I think we have done. I think that the things that Ryan pointed out, the accomplishments that have been made over the last 4 years speak for themselves. And if those accomplishments are going to result in something that I wish that everybody please take the opportunity to read what was put together here. All we're asking for is one thing. The decision that you make, if it's based around seeing your city grow, seeing jobs, seeing economic development, seeing the 7 businesses that have opened here survive, that's the decision that you have to make. So, not about municipal financing, because if you say no to that, we'll figure out something. But it is about economic development and not creating yet another drain on your fiscal burdens that already exist. Thank you.
Mr. Monti, I need to, I'm not saying much tonight, but I need to respond to what you just said.
Sure.
What changed that you asked, and you talked about political views. First, let me say that during my term as a councilman in the previous administration, when you came in, the former mayor and the administration was 100% behind Renaissance Project and the BDDC
Absolutely.
to get this done. When I became mayor, I was 100%, and I still am 100% behind getting the downtown developed. What changed is when Renaissance went from asking for 0 money to starting with $6 million, possibly $12 million. When Renaissance comes up asking for that kind of money, in my opinion, it's my job as the chief administrator of this term to do the due diligence and protect the taxpayers of this city. We will do our due diligence. I hope your project is a huge success, but we're going to do our due diligence as any responsible administration would.
And Mayor, I would expect nothing less, and I commend you for that statement. The only thing that I am asking is that as part of that due diligence, if it doesn't come down to asking for $6 or $12 million from the city, but it does come down to seeing some alternative to that that represents economic development, and that's really all we're saying. And you know, what surprises me is the folks that are here tonight making a report are actually, from, again, to the best of my knowledges, seeking this same type of municipal financing in Collinsville. So what I'm saying is that you know, if I'm going to look at a report that's prepared, the only thing I feel very strongly about is credentials. If I'm a credentialed developer, I have no issue with Goman York's credentials as a developer. What I would like to see is what I'm going to send to you tonight represents studies done in over 1,000 cities in this country. All I'm asking for is when a developer is doing a study for a municipality as opposed to a firm that's actually does this and this alone, all I'm asking is look at what we prepared and realize that I would ask you, if I took $6 and $12 million off the table and I asked you, Mayor, are you willing to roll your sleeves up and figure out a solution that results in something other than a park? What would your comment be?
And I think this administration has been doing that from the start. When we talked about, when Renaissance came in and talked about possibly needing some money, we sat down, this administration with the BDDC, and have been going over alternatives for funding. So we've been working with you, and I don't want the impression out there that we've been putting roadblocks, we've been trying to stop, because we have not. We have been working 100% behind Renaissance to get this project done.
But is it a project versus no project? Is it economic development versus a park? Is it public financing versus this? What is it?
And that's what we're working through right now.
Okay, and I want to tell you, and I want to go on the record as to say that if public financing is off the table, so be it.
Great.
We're here to continue to try to work with you.
I hope so. Thank you.